All right, everyone, it's time to talk about Cody Wilson. Right now, the entire corporate media, within like 10 minutes of the initial report, already had their write-ups, I guess, pre-made, and was like, oh, pedophile Cody Wilson, who's an evil pro-gun, far-right member. Literally, the Hill's write-up is like, well, he was kind of a libertarian. Now he's increasingly identified with the alt-right. It's like, no, he's not. Cody Wilson is basically a household name among anyone who enjoys firearms because he believes in liberty. And by the way, it doesn't make him like an LP member. They're claiming he's a pervert, and I don't believe it. I don't believe the claim. I think that it's a hit job. I think that at the very least, a tragic mistake was made that because he was being dumb. Discretion should have been used by the police, wasn't, and that it's a hit job now by the corporate media. At worst, it was entrapment. I'm leaning towards the latter. I'm not joking about that. We've had cases where police forces have been eventually exposed for having gotten people thrown into jail by literally attempting to utilize children. They're like, hey, this fucking orphan was abducted. We're going to use you as bait for these predators over here. Bye, have fun. Don't worry, we'll pay you afterwards. And they get in huge trouble when this happens. There is a precedent for this happening. What happened is Cody Wilson used a website to try to hook up with someone. He's like, it's a sugar daddy something or other. I can't remember the name of the site. Basically, it's we're going to screw, and then I'm going to give you a gift, which we previously agreed upon. It's not really hookering. It's a call girl sort of situation. It's a gray area legally that is capable of being prosecuted, but typically it's a difficult prosecution because you're like, hey, no, we just wanted to hook up. I gave her money afterwards. We never agreed upon a price. And by the way, we took some pictures, so we're actually making porn. All we got to do is pay taxes on it. Ha ha, Uncle Sam. By the way, that's kind of true. What happens is the person he got with wasn't actually 18. Now, in Texas, the age of consent's 17. This person apparently is like 16, going on 17 maybe. Is this someone who's like a week away from the age of consent, or is this someone who just barely turned 16? Also kind of matters. But here's the thing. Here's the thing I would say. Here's the weird part. The government, police, government, whatever, they prosecute children, someone who's like 10 or 11. If 10 or 11, like if I was to go back in time to when I was like 13 and take a nude photo of myself and share it with people, I could have gotten, put in prison for that. It's illegal. You get put in prison for manufacturing and distribution of illicit material. That's considered perfectly normal by the legal system. Oh, they should be tried as an adult. Yes, of course they should be on the offenders registry for the rest of their life. They're like a pervert and stuff, even though they themselves are the kid and the victim and the perp all at the same time. It's very strange. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But if that same individual 5-6 years later decides to sell their body, misrepresents their age, thus violating the TOS of a hookup site, probably lies about their age to the person who comes to screw them, then they have to be totally treated like a totally innocent child party. That doesn't make sense. These two things cannot easily be reconciled. And I'm not saying, it should be legal or something. No, what I'm saying is at the same time, if the state's going to take up that line, why is it prosecuting actual kids for manufacturing and distribution? If they're like too young and they take a picture of themselves and then other people non-consensually leak that material out to the World Wide Web or something. No, I think it's irreconcilable. It's unethical too. By the way, there is also the issue. In some states, including surrounding states to Texas, the age of consent's 16. It wouldn't have been illegal. Then, of course, there's, the Trafficking Act there that was used originally against black people during the segregation era to jail them for going to less segregated states to sleep with their white girlfriends, which is why the law exists. So the Logan Act, or I don't know. I get them all mixed up because I'm talking about these weird legal things all day. Anyway, though, Cody Wilson fled to Taiwan. Apparently, he was tipped off by one of the girl's friends. Well, so now he's probably in China, not Taiwan at the moment, which means there's no extradition treaty. You're not going to be able to try him. Well, you watch. They're going to try to Assange him. They're going to try to Assange or do what they did with Edward Snowden. With Edward Snowden, they immediately said, well, he went to China. He's sharing secrets with them. They'll say the same about Cody Wilson. You watch and mark my words. If they don't catch him in Taiwan and he makes it to Beijing, he comes out and they say, well, he's in China now. They're going to say, he's secretly a communist. See, we knew America's enemies love the Second Amendment. See, it ties right into that one Russian chick there that was infiltrating the NRA and fucking her way to the top to try to sit in on donor meetings. They will try to tie them together. The corporate media right now is not giving him a fair shake. They're not questioning, hey, Cops are known to sprinkle crack on people randomly in order to throw them in jail in inner city neighborhoods. Is it really beyond the realm of possibility that they took someone who was being trafficked and paid him a bunch of money to try to nail Cody Wilson because they're tired of his shit? Could it be that the federal government sometimes does corrupt shit when it's waging a legal battle? And here's the icing on the cake. The icing on the cake is that they want me to believe that Cody Wilson is dumb enough to say, I'm probably under 24/7 surveillance. I'm probably on 10 different watch lists. Everything I do online is probably being monitored. I'm definitely a target for hacking groups as well because the politically partisan don't like me anymore and the government does. Everyone's out to get me. Everyone knows who I am. They know, by the way, that I'm over the age of 18 because I'm Cody Wilson and I'm 30. What do I want to do today? I think I'm going to go sleep with an underage individual after contacting them on an insecure website. I'm not even going to ask them what their age is. No, I think it's a great... Bullshit. That didn't happen, dude. There's a reason that he fled. He knows right now he's going to get railroaded if he's in the United States. If he gets caught, he's going to spend a long time in prison. They're going to make an example of him, make his life miserable, and or kill him in prison. That's what the federal government wants to do. It's as clear as day to me, whether it was entrapment or not. They're either taking advantage of a situation in which Cody Wilson had a total fucking brain fart and got used by someone else, who now he can't even cross-examine, I think, under Texas law. And by the way, under Texas law, and I'm not sure about this in all states because I don't habitually look such things up, and under Texas law, Cernovich pointed this out, there's no defense that you can make legally by saying, well, they misrepresented their age. It's not a legal defense. Now, it should be. Reasonably speaking, if someone lies to you, they're like, hey, yeah, I'm 18, let's go make out or something. Isn't that a little bit of an exoneration? You can't say the person's a pervert. They're not consciously attempting to be with someone who's underage. And a person who in some states wouldn't have been counted as underage. It would have been considered okay. Dubious, yeah. Slimy, yeah. I mean, he's hiring a prostitute. That's already dubious and slimy and illegal, but it's not a high-class felony that gets you on a permanent watch list. It's not something that gets you, drop the soap style by Bubba in your cell. It's not the sort of thing where the federal government can put you in Gitmo, basically, and let the other inmates harass or kill you. No, it's a rather minor offense. Hey, you solicited a prostitute. That's a bad idea. 6 months in the gulag, cracking rocks in the salt quarry. I believe that this is a hit job. Whether it was by design or by opportunism matters very little. It's happened before, similar cases with drugs, certainly among other things, as well as sting operations like this. In some cases, because it was entrapment, people who are actually perverted, actually seeking to do perverted shit, they end up getting off scot-free and the government can't even have them on a watch list. Then they sue and they get a bunch of money from the taxpayers. The government literally setting them up like fucking pins in a bowling game to be knocked down. As far as their cases go, it's really, really demented. It's pointless. It's not helpful. It's not keeping kids safe. And with Cody Wilson, there's no indication that he was consciously attempting to go out and screw with a child. So I don't see the perversion here. All I'm seeing is a bunch of political opportunities. It's interesting. More than half of the articles are explicitly political pieces. Libertarian, Cody Wilson. Pro-Second Amendment advocate, Cody Wilson. Cyber-anarcho-capitalist, Cody Wilson. Very, very strange how the headline in all of this news has to do with his political affiliation. And what timing, about a month from the midterms. Very, very strange. Very convenient for the neoliberal deep state. I think that's a little bit beyond the realm of coincidence. Don't you? That's about all. Peace out.